Hey everybody, it's Chase with AV Pop Culture again, and today I am back to talk about my Criterion flash sale haul. Yes, I got my shipment in, and it is time to unpack what I got from Criterion. So pop that tape in, I got you, let's go do this. All right, so Criterion sale. You guys know I'm not a big haul guy. I've talked about that a couple of times, but everybody keeps asking, what did I get from Criterion? Did I get anything? Now, normally I save all my Criterion stuff for July and November during the big sale months, because I like to get out there and mix it up in the wild, do the hunt videos, see what we can come up with and all that stuff. But there was a few things that I wanted to get that I just didn't want to wait for. One thing I actually had ordered from someone else, sent back because the flash sale came and I got it at a better price. So I ended up with 5 movies. And the first one that I'm talking about there is Winchester 73. I really like this movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it, but this one kind of leans, I could argue it leans a little bit horror, almost like Cursed Object type movie to me. And this one is a really good, I'm a big Jimmy Stewart fan, so you can't go wrong with that. I highly recommend this one if you don't have the Blu-ray already. You know, the thing about Criterion that I've learned doing some research here lately, and I know it's going to hurt Criterion fans, but a lot of the restorations they're doing from their Blu-ray to their 4Ks are just digital only. So that doesn't necessarily mean they're AI upscaling them necessarily. But if they're not doing new scans and they're not doing film restorations of it at all, that means they're just doing a scan, and then all of the restoration work they're doing is in a digital space. So they're just scanning the film in however it lays and then fixing it digitally. So they're not straightening the film. They're not cleaning the film. They're not doing anything to the film itself. They're just scanning it in, and then whatever resolution they get out of it on the scan, they're working with in a digital space to fix scratches and all that stuff. So they're not doing anything to the actual film. So sometimes that's probably why you do not see as big a difference between their Blu-rays and their 4Ks. Because essentially, the biggest difference is so like this had a Blu-ray already from a 4K scan. So now all they did, they really just put it on a bigger disc. That's it. It went from a 50 gigabyte disc to a 66 or 100 gigabyte disc. They didn't actually do a new restoration or a scan. So that's why sometimes people are like, I don't really see the Blu-rays from Criterion look great, but the 4Ks don't necessarily look that much different. Well, when they're not even adding an HDR to them, there's really not much difference, right? It's just that much gigabytes of space. That's about it. So this one does not have HDR or Dolby Vision. So you're not going to get the big separations. Now, I didn't have this movie anyway, so getting the 4K Blu-ray combo, no brainer. So I picked that up. Then I also picked up the classic War of the Worlds. Man, I didn't have this. Now, this is a Blu-ray. And again, 4K. See, it's a Blu-ray and it says 4K digital restoration back here. So they already just 4K scanned it. Hopefully they did a scan at least, and they didn't they had to do a scan at some point, right? Hopefully they didn't just take a HD version that was already digital, upscale it and fix it. Hopefully they didn't do that. Now there are some videos of Criterion on YouTube where they mainly just do everything in a digital space. So my rule kind of going forward on Criterion 4Ks is if I already have the Blu-ray, I am not upgrading, and I'm a 4K believer, but I am not upgrading most likely if I have the film already. Like if I've got this Blu-ray already and they release this 4K, unless they add HDR or Dolby Vision or they do a new restoration and scan, there's no reason to upgrade. It's not going to be enough. It's not going to be enough. So I might upgrade eventually, but no reason to rush out and get it because it's just not going to be that much different. So this is a 4K scan on a Blu-ray with a digital restoration. This is the classic. I am looking forward to revisiting this from 1953. A must-have in your collection. Look at that artwork. Bad to the bone. Of course, I'm working on my 50s sci-fi list. This one, I'm sure, might find its way there. So I picked up War of the Worlds. And then this next one I picked up was a high recommend from my boy Jason over at Movie Mass, at Pop Culture Mass. Make sure you go and subscribe to him and check him out. He's big on 1930s films, right? And he told me that one of the best ever is The Awful Truth. So I picked this up. And I am looking forward to watching it. It's from 1937. So it is a comedy. And I know there's kind of been some, I don't want to say remakes because they're not. There's a movie with Katherine Heigl and Gerard Butler called The Ugly Truth. And they kind of take their base plate from this movie, but I don't think it's anything to like this movie. Although I actually think that movie's pretty funny too. But you got Ralph Bellamy in this movie. You got Cary Grant. I'm looking forward to checking this out. Love the artwork there. I think it's just cool and classic. And I'll be letting him know. So I took the blind buy plunge on a 1937 comedy. Looking forward to checking out The Awful Truth. Let's see what else I grab in here. Yes. So Seconds. So I actually heard my man Daniel at the Cobwebs channel talking about this movie. I've heard a couple people talking about it, but he went into kind of in depth and it kind of sold me on it a little bit. This is Rock Hudson starring in this. This is a Blu-ray from 1966. Now see, this says it's a new fully restored 4K digital film transfer. So if they ever put this on 4K, if they don't add Dolby Vision or HDR, there's not going to be anything different really other than they put it on a bigger disc. That's going to be it. There aren't different discs for 4K. They're just bigger than the Blu-ray disc. They can hold more. That's it. Blu-ray tops out at 50 and then 66 and 100 for 4K disc. But it's the same kind of disc. And people say they scratch easier. They don't actually scratch easier. It's the same disc. The problem is the tolerances of your 4K player and the information on that 4K disc. There's way more information packed into the same area. So, and then the laser in your 4K player has to be much more acute, much more fine to pick up all that extra information. So it's harder for it to just play over scratches because there's actually more information if you get a scratch. So they're not more sensitive to scratches. The players and everything about them are more sensitive to not being able to play through a scratch. It's not like one inherently scratches easier. It's the same kind of disc. So it's more about if you get a scratch on a 4K disc with a great 4K player, it reads that scratch instead of being able to scan over it because there's not as much information there. And you have a laser that's way better in a 4K player. So that's more about what it's about. But Seconds, it sounds like kind of a thriller, almost a horror, because the guy is like tired of his life, and he has an elaborate procedure that basically turns him into Rock Hudson, and he kills off his old self and lives a whole other life, trying to live a whole other life, but it like turns bad and scary and freaky. And it says there's a paranoid symphony of canted camera angles, fragmented editing, and layered sound that is very high risk taking. So we're going to have some interesting filmmaking in here that kind of highlights and heightens everything. So I'm definitely interested in seeing that. That sounds very different. I'm okay with the Blu-ray. It's a John Frankenheimer film. It's blind buy based on hearing Daniel and a couple other people talk about it. So I'm intrigued. So we're going to check out Seconds. And then one more is one of the newest 4K releases. and it is Godzilla vs. Biolante. And I haven't seen this in 100 years. Literally, this is 1989. I probably saw it when I in like the early 90s for the last time. I haven't seen this in forever, but I do remember this being one of what I felt like was one of the better Godzilla movies. So I'm interested to watch this again. This was one that I didn't want to wait on because I just wanted to watch it. So I didn't want to wait till July to buy it. So I went ahead and picked it up. It's the only 4K I got. It is loaded with this, I think. No, I got the Winchester 73. So I got a couple of 4Ks. Yeah, this was during the resurgence of Godzilla there in the 80s, but lots of fun on this one. It says, with a wild plot encompassing spies, psychic children, and bonkers biotechnology, and some of the coolest special effects in the history of Japanese cinema. So I'm looking forward to checking this one out. It's got a good bit of special features. Still no HDR or Dolby Vision. Criterion is going to have to start doing that, because otherwise they're getting past. That's lazy. It's cheap because they're just taking those 4K restorations that they've already done digitally and slapping them on a bigger disc. They're not even putting new artwork in them and stuff like that. That's lazy. That's why BFI, like with Seven Samurai, they got the same transfer, because they're not Criterion's not doing their own transfers for the most part anymore. They're buying this stuff done. So that's why they're using old stuff that they bought before and not doing anything new to it. So but BFI, they're getting a hold of the same transfer some of the times, and then they're adding HDR and Dolby Vision grade to it. They're taking that little extra step, and it's just kind of a corner cut that I'm not digging from Criterion. So they need to get that. And you guys, I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of Criterion fans out there. You argue with me. You can argue with me if you want to. The fact's facts. You can go look it up. And no need to make excuses for them. They got more money than about any boutique out there. They don't feel like they have to do it because they're Criterion. That's what it comes down to. But I'm looking forward to checking that out. And that is the 5 Criterion editions that I have here. I'm not into the spine number thing, but 1248 for Winchester 73, 1037 for War of the Worlds, 917 for The Awful Truth, second 667, and Godzilla 1254. I have no idea about the spine numbers for Criterion, but I know people keep asking me sometimes when I don't mention it. Doesn't mean anything to me. I just get the movies that I like. So that's the 5 that I grabbed on this sale. So instead of just me answering it 100 times, Chase, what did you get? Did you get anything on the flash sale? There you go. That's what I got. I won't be buying any other Criterion. Now, I did order a Nora from Orbit because they're $33.99 on their 4Ks. I ordered with 2 other films, so I saved the $7 on free shipping. So I rationalized that it only cost me $27 or whatever. So I went ahead and ordered a Nora. Other than that, I will not be buying any other Criterion that I'm aware of, unless there's something I just can't live without between now and July. And then we'll be on the hunt for Criterion out in the wild. But that's what I got for you this time. Just a quick little update. We do all kinds of things here. 4K reviews, physical media news, lists, rankings, my big movie recommendation list, all that stuff from a fan and filmmaker's perspective. If that's your jam, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And if you want to help support the channel and what I do here, you can join at my Patreon link below or my YouTube link. You're going to get your name and lights on every single video. You get behind the scenes looks at my filmmaking, special members only videos, and all that. Patreon, I'm starting to be able to do a whole lot more over there. Less censorship, less worry. I can review more things. I can do more things. So if you're a current member, you want to move over to Patreon, there's tiers over there. 2, they take less. I can do more. over there, so there'll be a little bit more content, but I still upload content over here too. I just really appreciate all the support. It really does mean a lot to me, and no matter what, you're going to get your name up here on every single video and have some fun with me. But until next time, be kind, rewind like always. This is Chase with AV Pop Culture, and I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
I know.